schedule. So let me give you tips and tricks and insider ideas on how you can get the most out of each and every day. My first suggestion, and you've heard me say this over and over again, is start early. If your success is important, you need to get your butt out of bed. I mean, is it really important to you? Well, you're not going to get listings if you're still asleep. So early bird gets the worm. Top producers get more done before 9 a.m. than most agents get done before noon. If it's important to you, get up and get after it. Second, pre-plan your week. So take a look at your week on Sunday, maybe Monday morning, really early. And what is it you want to get done? Put in all your time blocks. Try to figure out when's the best time to prospect. When's the best time to do, when do I do the office meetings, the open houses, the tours? When am I going on date night and all of that stuff? Put it all in. Now, by the end of the week, it's not going to be as you planned it. But I promise you, if you don't have a plan, it's a plan to fail. If you have a plan, then it gives us a chance to fix it again the following week and refine it the week after that until we get it right. But you need a bit of a plan so that you've got some idea what you have to get done this week. Third one on my list was open blocks of time. You're going to get some last minute requests. Like for instance, maybe Monday night is the night you always set time aside to do your client follow-ups, to let everybody know what's going on. But Sunday afternoon, while you're out walking the dog, you run into one of the neighbors and they want to sell their house, and the only time they can meet with you is Monday night. So what do? Well, you could say, I can't go to the listing appointment because I've already got something scheduled, but I wouldn't do that, nor would you. I would take the listing appointment for Monday night. I would take the time that I typically use to keep my clients up to speed, and I would drop it into one of the open blocks. Now, it's not going to be the perfect space, and it's not how I would have designed it, but it's going to allow me to get everything done by the end of the week that I planned on. And I think that's really the objective here and we don't want to miss the listing opportunity, obviously. The next one I have for you is watch for distractions. The neat thing about real estate is people show up in our universe. And if we've got a whole list of things we want to get done and a buyer shows up from nowhere and then they want to buy something and they're qualified and they take us off track, then we have to be careful by the end of the week to still be aware that we have to get everything done that we committed to. That means we got to be thoughtful about how we move stuff around or how we speed the calendar up a little bit or where we take a little something from here to add it to there so that we can get it all done. It's not perfect. In fact, it's a beautiful mess. But at the end of the day, it's about putting it all together and making it work. So watch for the distractions and don't let the distractions be an excuse for not accomplishing what you committed to. You still got to get done what you said you were going to get done. Start every day with a dollar producing activity. And my friend from the Ohio Valley, Sean Carpenter, says you should start with your morning high five. And my suggestion, it's beautiful. It's 5 things you can do every morning that's going to positively affect your business from a business perspective in terms of potential production, listing appointments, buyers, all of that. And what he does is his office is located across from a coffee shop. Sean loves a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, but he considers it a treat or a reward. So he hustles early into the office before anyone's there, and he goes to his CRM system and he sends out 5 emails to people on his list. Just how are you doing? Just thinking about you. Know anybody's thinking of buying or selling? 5 emails. He does something very similar to 5 different people, but uses text messages. And then he uses a technology called slide dial, meaning he can call people without ringing their phone and deposit a message directly into their voicemail. So he'll do a slide dial. Then he'll do 5 handwritten notes. People love handwritten notes, by the way. They really kind of hold on to them and look. In fact, if I was selling real estate today, I would be teaching myself how to do calligraphy so I could write really fancy notes and people would be like, oh my gosh, look at that guy's note. Now, isn't that what you want people to do, is hang on to the note? And the last thing I would do is make sure you do 5 social media posts. Now, post or comment on other people's sites. But Sean does this every morning. 25 touch points that basically 125 a week, 500 a month, 6,000 a year. And you got to know if you reach out 6,000 times a year, that a percentage of those people are going to convert to an actual listing or a sale. They want to buy an investment property, whatever it is. But he does all of that before the rest of the office is in. And then as everybody's showing up at 9 o'clock and he's got his morning high five out, he walks across and he rewards himself with a cup of coffee. I love it. He can't have the coffee until he gets the morning high five done. And when he's got it done, now he's taken that period of time between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning or 7:30 and 8:30, and he's turned it into a productive prospecting period of time. If I could get you just to do that, think of the impact it would have on your business. Use to-do lists for everything. You know, we all got so many things coming at us and it's hard to keep everything in priority and you don't want anything to slip between the cracks. So use your to-do list, organize them, and there's also a sense of satisfaction that you get when you can stroke something on the list. You know, it's like that, all of a sudden you feel like I got something done, and that's a beautiful thing. So to-do lists for everything. checklists for everything so that you don't have to think about stuff. When you get a new listing, instead of, well, do I need to remember the photographer, the stager, the videographer, the drone guy? Do I need to get this done, that done? Whatever it is, you don't have to think about it anymore because you got checklists for new listings and for buyers and closing deals and just checklists for everything. And think of it this way, your checklist should be so easy to understand so that even if you're not at work and you were sick, another agent could open that file on your behalf and take over right where it was and not miss a beat. Complete seamless transition over to the other agent. And that's how we want those checklists organized. Now, I know it's a bit of work in the beginning, but if you do it now, it just makes things easier later. So invest wisely now to create your checklists, and that way you're going to always check all the boxes to make sure nothing gets missed. A well-documented calendar allows us to take a look at the week in review, decide where we spent our time, what did we do well, and always as a road warrior, because our hardware is synchronized, it makes it easy for us to go backwards and look at a property or look up an address, that sort of stuff. So it's really good to have a really good documented calendar. It's going to give you some insight into what you're doing. Complete your projects. You know, we've all been on a listing appointment when you go in and it's like the person's ADD. They put down some of the carpeting, but they didn't put it all down. They put down some of the quarter round, but they didn't put it all down. They painted 3 out of 4 walls. They got some of the handles on the kitchen cupboards, but some of the kitchen cupboards don't even have doors. And you're like looking around and thinking, what is wrong with this person? Every one of those ideas individually were great, but he didn't or she didn't finish any of them, and the place is just a mess. This is a disaster. In fact, this is a recipe for a nervous breakdown. It's like you got too many things going and nothing completed. So my suggestion is learn to complete your circles. Create your priority list. Create the list of things you want to get done and check them off one project at a time. So you get one done, off the list, down to the next one and down to the next one. Don't try to tackle 6 things at the same time because nothing gets done. So whatever it is, whatever you believe your priorities are, create the list and take them one at a time and get them done. You're going to feel such a sense of satisfaction emotionally, and that's just going to play into your attitude so much better. Learn to delegate. So I've said this to you before, but you should have somebody come to your office and detail your car. Don't even drive to the car wash to do it. You know, there's mobile car washes that'll come to your office and do it. While you're in there prospecting for more business, somebody's cleaning your car. Beautiful. Why are you cutting your grass? Unless you like to cut your grass. There's always somebody who likes to cut their grass. You know, there's always a guy on the street or a gal who cuts their grass one way one week, cuts it the next way the next week. Looks like a chessboard. It's so well done. Yeah, that's a hobby. I get that. But if that's not your thing, and real estate is, then why are you cutting the grass on Saturday instead of spending time with the family or doing an open house? That includes cleaning the house. That includes even going grocery shopping. Why are we going grocery shopping today when we have all kinds of meal services that will deliver great organic, locally grown vegetables right to your door? We are such a creature of habit. You know, you go over to Walmart and you're going to look at dish soap and laundry soap, and you're going to look at fabric and Febreze stuff. What for? Why wouldn't you just go online and order it? And at the very least, why even go into the store? Just pull up, they'll put it in your trunk, and off you go. It's all about time. That's what we're talking about. Do you want to spend time in Walmart looking at dish soap, or do you want to spend time with your buddies on the golf course, or spending time with your kids at a recital or at a sporting event, or a date night with your wife, partner, or spouse? What's really important here? Groceries? I don't think so. Learn to say no. Some people can't say no. You ask them to do it, they'll say yes to everything. Their biggest problem is they don't know how to say no. You know, I think of one of the agents that worked for me. She was masterful at time management. She'd hear, you know, somebody come in and say, hey, Delva, if you're headed over that way, could you drop this in for me? And she'd say, well, no, I can't. I'm real busy right now. But if you're going over there, could you take my dry cleaning for me? And next thing you know, somebody's delivering Delva's dry cleaning. She was wonderful at getting people to do stuff. She was really a busy real estate agent. And she knew that it was important to delegate and to be able to say no to people. So you got to be able to say no. There are some things you just can't do, because you can't, if you're doing that, you can't be doing something else. So when you say yes to something, the real question is, what are you saying no to? And if you're saying no to something, what are you saying yes to? Because we only have so much time. You have to figure out how you're going to spend that time. Learn to use your CRM system. It's a beautiful thing. It's truly perfect for a road warrior. The software goes across all your different hardware. So that means anything that you're doing on your desktop, your notebook, your laptop, your tablet is showing up on your phone, which is beautiful, because on the run, your smartphone or your phone is really sort of the device that is our go-to device. We need to be able to look up information on our clients in a moment's notice. We need to know birthdays, anniversaries, kids' names. We need to know, are they getting our newsletter, our market report? Are they getting our postcards? Are they in our farm? Whatever it is, so that you feel really connected, really close, and on top of the details. Now, The information in the CRM system is only good as the information you put in the CRM system. So if you don't spend time putting it in, then you're not going to take it out, and the whole exercise is frustrating. We need to put time into building that out. It's also beautiful because it's going to remind you it's somebody's birthday and you're on a way to an appointment. You know, the birthday's, you know, on another client. You pick up the phone. You can say, hey, Steve, I was just thinking about you. I wanted to be one of the first people to wish you happy birthday. Have a great day today. You'll be in our, you know, in my thoughts today. That sort of stuff galvanizes relationships. It makes them stronger. It gives you that referral business you're looking for. It gives you that repeat business you're looking for. And it makes sure nothing slips between the cracks. Now, maybe you're just starting out, you're not real busy, so then you can remember to do everything. But it's when you're really busy and you got, you know, 20 listings and you got 3 offers on your desk right now, and you got buyers who are coming in to see you on the weekend, and an open house you got to get ready for, and a stager who hasn't shown up for an appointment. That's where your CRM system comes into play, because it's got all the details. It's organized. There's structure to it. It's one less thing for you to think about. You want to organize your filing system. I've seen some of your filing systems. You use the 2-pile filing system. When the pile on the left side of the desk gets too high, you move it over to the right. I've seen offices, I'm telling you, we're a mess. Now, you are never going to feel in control if you don't first control your environment. And if you want to be in control of your business, then you got to control your space. When your space is clean and it's organized, and the same can be said for your hardware. You know, a lot of times I look into people's computers and they're a mess. That's a whole other topic, but it's basically the same idea. Everything needs to be in its place. So when you need something, you can pull it very quickly and get on to the activity at hand. I'll bet you there's things you've been looking for that you know are in your office somewhere, but you can't find it. And in fact, it's really not that important, but it's just frustrating the heck out of you. So you know what? You're going to spend the whole morning tearing the office apart till you find something that's really not that important. I get it. So let's get it organized. Let's stop. And here's the other thing about paper. If you touch it once and you can't do anything with it, throw it out. Okay, just throw it out. And because if it's important, it comes back. Let me try this on. Try throwing out a utility bill. What happens? It comes back. In fact, it comes back a different color. And if it's really important, they'll call you. Now, I'm being facetious, but some of you are drowning in stuff you're saving. You've been promising, I'm going to read that. You're never going to read it. Throw it out. Clean it up. Make it organized so that you feel I'm in control of my space. Now I'm ready to control the market. Next one I have for you is analyze your activities at the end of the week and weed out the stuff that's not working. That's why you want to keep a really good calendar. I need you to go back and figure out, what did I do prospecting, and how many hours did I do, and what did I do for my open house, and did I go door knocking, and did I invite the neighbors, whatever it is. But I need you to look at the stuff, and I need you to analyze the stuff that's working for you and do more of that. And I want you to look at the stuff that's not working and either figure out how to fix it or stop doing it, because obviously it's not working. Do the most difficult stuff first. You've heard that. You know, what do they say? Eat the frog. Isn't that what they say? Eat the frog. After that, the rest of the day is a walk in the park. Look, there's a seller out there that's been giving you a hard time. You don't want to talk to him, but you know you need to. Just putting it off only makes the rest of the day worse. I know what you're like. You go in, you say, I'm going to call when I get there. Then you get there, you have your coffee, and you think, I don't want to call. I'll call at break. Then you're going to call at 10:30. You don't call at 10:30 because you don't want to screw up your break. You say, I'm going to call before I go for lunch. Then you're going to call after lunch. You're going to call later in the afternoon. You'll call before you leave. And you know what? I just don't feel like talking to this person. I ain't going to call. And you go home, and now you take all that bad energy and you carry it home with you. And that's only going to mess you up. It's going to screw up the time with your family. It's going to screw up your time. So here's my suggestion to you. Make the tough call. Get it done. Be transparent. Be authentic. Be original. Be honest. But get it done. Deal with it head on. And I'll tell you something about stuff. Honesty is always the best answer. Be transparent with people. If you're going to waste time, learn to waste it honestly. You're going to be expected to work some nights and weekends and chase down a deal that's in sign back till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. If you're having one of those days, you just can't seem to get it into gear. You're in the office, but you're not getting anything done. You know those days. Then my suggestion is go home. Yes, that's what I said. Go home. Take the day off. You've earned it. You put the nights, the weekends, the holidays in. You can take a little time if you're not feeling up to it. What would you do? Well, go get a massage. Go get your nails done. Go shopping. Go for lunch. Go pick the kids up from school. They'll be surprised. Take them out. Go home and make a great meal for your partner, husband, wife. Do something wonderful. Pick up some flowers. Do something for you. Go read a book. Hey, go to a matinee. Have you ever wondered who goes to matinees? Yeah, all the real estate agents that you're calling that never answer their phone. Lo and behold, where are they in the matinee? I mean, who else can go to a matinee in the middle of the afternoon? You can, because you've taken the afternoon to say, you know what? I'm checking out this afternoon. I'm just not in it. So it doesn't make any sense to push through something when your heart's not in it. Take a break. You know what? That afternoon off may be exactly what you needed. Now, you feel guilty if you haven't been successful, but if you've been successful, you won't feel guilty because you'll feel that you've earned it. Use autoresponders on your emails. People just want to know they're in the queue. That's really the idea here. Quickly qualify your prospects both on the buyer and seller side. If you're going to take people out to buy houses, you want to make sure that they can buy the house, they financially qualify for it, they're committed, meaning they'll come in and have a meeting with you and they'll talk through what it is they're looking for and they'll be open and honest with you. They're willing to set some time out. And the question you want to ask them is, if you saw the right house today, would you buy it today? That's how you qualify a prospect on the buy side. On the seller side, when you get an inquiry about an evaluation, my question is, by the way, you do want to sell your house, right? Both you, your partner, husband, or wife will be there, right? By the way, what do you feel your home's worth or homes like yours are selling for in the neighborhood? These are all qualifying questions to make sure that the time I'm about to commit to these people is well invested. You don't want to say to someone, you don't want to rush over, do your evaluation, get all organized and get over there and find out that the husband and wife don't want to sell or the partners don't want to sell their house. They just put a deck on and they just want to know how much more their home is worth, and you've spent 2 days preparing for an appointment where you would have been better prospecting for better opportunities. Or a buyer who says, oh no, we won't be ready for another year or two. We're just getting started. We want to go out and get a feeling for what's going on. Do you know there are people agents right now driving people around looking at houses today that aren't buying a house today, but they are so afraid that they're going to lose them that they'll drive them around out of scarcity. That they are so concerned that, they, instead of spending more time looking for a better quality client that's ready to pull the trigger, they'll try to hang on to somebody that's not doing anything, and that's a mistake. So qualify your prospects, one-stop listing appointments if you can. Now, if you're doing unique, custom luxury properties, yeah, you're going to have to do a two-stopper. I get it. You got to go over, take all the information, come back, do your research. But I'm a fan for bread and butter real estate. I like stuff that I put the sign up on it this morning, it's sold by the afternoon. I like stuff that's kind of checks all the boxes for the community, the medium sale price neighborhood, the stuff that everybody can afford. Think of it this way, the further up the pyramid you go, the less buyers there are. Down at the bottom, that's where the stuff sells, and it sells quickly because a lot of people qualify for that price range. I like semis, I like townhouses, I like condos, I like entry-level properties. Now, I'm not saying I won't take a luxury property or a carriage trade property listing. I would do that, but that's not my focus. I'd rather have 4 houses at 5 than 1 house at 2 million. I'd rather have, 3 houses at 6 than 1 at 1.8. Think of it that way, because you put the 5 or the 6 on the market, depending on where you are, but put an average house for your community on the market, and there's a buyer for it. Get a really expensive luxury property at the top end of the market, and it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of advertising. And yes, it's always great to have your picture next to the luxury property. Doesn't that always feel so sexy? I get that. But here's what's even sexier than having your picture next to the luxury real estate is commission checks, and lots of them. So my suggestion is farm the stuff that you know that as quickly as you put it on the market, it's going to be sold. Last 15 minutes of the day, I want you to get in the habit of cleaning up your desk, because when you come in the morning, I want you to be able to hit the street running. I had a young guy who used to work with me in the first couple of weeks, and I'm real big at a clean desk at the end of the day. Everything's got to be ready to go because I'm going to be in the saddle in the morning and ready to, buckle up. We're going after it. And I found with him the first couple of weeks, his desk was a mess and he bolted at 5 o'clock. So I said to him, his name was Rod. I said, okay, Rod, stop. Something's going to happen today at 4:30. What's that? And I said, this desk has to be cleaned. Everything has to be organized, because you spend the first hour of the next day getting cleaned up from the day before and you don't get anything done. We clean it. Now, it took me a couple of days, but you know what? By about 4:15, I started to notice Rod's putting stuff away and putting stuff in his desk, and he's wiping stuff down, and he's dumping out his old coffee cup. And you know what? He rolled in the office the next day and we were ready to start prospecting and start to pursue opportunities. So clean up that desk. Make sure that you go home with a clean desk, because then you'll go home with a clean mind. You won't be worrying about stuff. By the end of the day, it's proper business protocol. It's respectful to return all your emails and all your voicemails. So the last half an hour of the day, you got to get in there, even if it's just quick. Give them let them know they got it, that you're dealing with it, or whatever the answer is. Same with your voicemails. You all hate when you've left somebody a message and it takes 2 or 3 days to get back to you and you're frustrated with it. Don't be that person. Be the person that sets the pace to which all else wish to measure themselves against. Excellence.